Paul, leading the front line, the main man, that's the words that David Holmes has used to describe you this season. Would be pleased with that analogy.
Yeah, it's nice. It's been a steady start for me. Still think I can offer more in terms of everything. I always look to improve, so hopefully I can do that.
About 4 or 5 weeks into the season now, you still finding your feet in terms of gelling with the rest of the squad here at Mansfield Town?
I think we've gelled quite well really, considering there's a lot of new players in the team. We've had quite a lot of games to get used to each other, so I think it's coming along quite nice, to be honest.
We lead Tamworth aside, goals haven't been hard to come by at Field Mill and also on the road.
Yeah, it's nice, always nice when you're forward and you're scoring goals, but the lads we work hard in training on creating chances and putting crosses in the box, and that's my job to get on the end of them.
A lot of competition for those places up front. Has that spurred you on at all?
Yeah, you've got some good players here, especially strikers as well, and you've got to be on top of your game to get a game.
Keegan Parker's been the man who's been partnered with you more often than not. Have you felt that you've gelled with him, or is there other strikers? We talk about Rob Duffy, I mean he's been out for a while, that you started to form partnerships with.
Me and Keys has been fine. You can always improve, like I said before. You can always work on things in training and get to know each other. Partnerships don't always just happen overnight. Even the best partnerships work on them, and I'm sure when me and Keys get on the training ground, we play close together and try and link up.
The manager's described you as the target man in his front line. Is that a tag that sits well with yourself?
I don't mind that, yeah. I'm there to win headers and hold the ball up. I think one of my strong points is linking the play up to the midfield. So I don't mind that. I can also do other things rather than just stand there and be a target. I think I've got decent movement where I can get in behind as well.
One of the new additions to the squad this season, sat third in the table of minutes. Where do you think the Stags can finish come the end of the year?
I mean, we want to do well, and I've been in sides before where I've had a couple of promotions, been lucky enough to get them, and I think we've got a good squad here. We should not look past the playoffs. Definitely the playoffs anyway, and then see what happens after that. I mean, you've got to aim high, otherwise there's no point in sort of being in the game.
You've been involved with other promotion pushes. What characteristics does it require in a team to mount a serious promotion push?
I think you've just got to be organised, which we are organised, and you've got to be consistent, especially after Saturday, or the disappointment of getting beaten. It's how you react really. The teams I've played in what's got promoted have reacted well the next game after we've had a disappointment and gone out and get a result.
Disappointment on last Saturday because there were opportunities to grab at least one goal arguably. Does that spur you on even more in training, especially with the game on Saturday ahead?
Yeah, we just look forward to Saturday now. Tamworth's gone. We've looked at it. We've worked on a few things. We didn't play well. We'll admit that. Not how we can do anyway. So Saturday we've got to look forward now and hopefully get the result.
What are you expecting from Southport?
Tough game. I'm still getting to know this league, the teams in it and some of the players. So what I can gather, it's a tough place to go. They don't concede many goals, so it's definitely going to be hard. We're going to have to be in our game.
You talked there about trying to adjust to this league. Southport, you've mentioned, a tough place to go. Altrincham, another tough place that you've been to already. What changes have you noticed as a player coming into this league?
I think that the top half of this league could compete in League Two, definitely. I think, but some of the teams they're just well organised really, and it's very physical. It's a physical league, so you've got to be prepared to battle as well, and then once you've won your battle, get the ball down and play. Outside
the Premiership, David Holdsworth has described this league as the most competitive league in English football. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. I mean, you've seen the results early on this season. Anyone could beat anyone. Teams what you wouldn't have thought would be up there, or having spent that much money beating the teams like Luton, who's got a massive wage bill. So I just think on the day you've got to be prepared to go there with a strong mental attitude and try and get something.
From your point of view, have you benefited, should I say, from playing in the settled side? David Holdsworth hasn't changed that team much so far this year.
Yeah, again, it's up to the gaffer if he sees there's changes or he needs to change the formation for any particular game. Then we've got a strong enough squad. There's lads sort of can't wait to get in there and get a chance. So, like you said before, the competition there, the squad's excellent.
You're here now at Field at Mansfield Town. How are you fitted in to that back four, forming a nice partnership with the old warhorse next to you, Steve Foster?
It took us a while because obviously we haven't played together as a, we're all relatively new there. I think there's only Gary Silk who was here at the club last year. So at the fort at the minute, 3 are new, and we've kind of started to gel and get to know each other on the field as well as off the field as well. So yeah, I'm obviously we're in training every day, getting to know each other and enjoying it. Yeah.
What have you learned from Steve Foster next to you?
That you can, if you look after yourself, you might be able to go on to your 37 or however old he is. But no, it just gives you that experience. His communication next to me, he helps me out by talking to me and vice versa. We always have a little chat on the Friday and before the game of maybe who we're going to be up against and what it's going to be like, and he gives his experience to me, and I take it on board.
David Holdsworth has made a lot of having 2 natural leaders in the heart of defence. Steve Foster obviously wears the armband, but yourself next to him, do you still feel you've got a leadership role to play on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of my strengths, and I think he is captain, and I respect him, for being captain and as a player. But there's 10 other leaders out there that we need to have every game. So. Yeah, obviously he's captain, he takes us out and we follow him.
Pressure in the defence though, from players sat on the touchline at the minute. We think of the likes of Mark Priest and Tom Naylor, who's spoken highly of at this club, so you've got to perform every game.
Yeah, and that's how, as a defender and as a player, that's how I want it. You don't want to have, you look on the bench and there's 4 attackers, or in the squad there's maybe you've got a centre-half who might not be classed as, going to be playing. But you want it where there's competition, so if you've got, if you're in a bit of a bad spell, you're going to be left out. Gaffer's got no qualm about leaving you out. And we've got 4 centre-halves here at this club, and in a minute it's me and Fozzie, and like you say, there's Priest who's come in, he's getting himself fit, and he's a good defender, and then obviously Nails, who have not come across before, coming here, and I've seen him in training. He's a good lad with a good future, and I know that I've got to play to my top ability every week and to play, and I'm sure Fozzie's the same, even though he's captain. The gaffer has said that if you're not playing well, he's going to leave you out no matter who you are.
Clean sheets are coming. They've been far more consistent this year than arguably in the past for Mansfield Town. A lot of importance on keeping that clean sheet.
I think that's obviously the way that you've got to look at it. You don't concede, you don't lose, and the ability we've got going forward, we're always going to create chances, and even on Saturday we didn't score, but they had 2 or 3 cleared off the line, and we're always going to create chances which will create goals. So if we can keep it tight at the back and keep it clean sheet, then you've got to fancy us to win the game.
Another tough encounter on Saturday though.
Yeah, very. They've just come up, but they've had a great start. I know they're quite direct. I've spoke to a friend who is at Kidderminster who played them a couple of weeks ago, and they lost 4-3. And they were quite direct, so we've got to be on our guard, and we've got to go there. It's a nice pitch, a nice stadium, so we've got to go there, but play our game, worry about us.
For you as a defender then, if you're expecting the side to come at you quite directly, what challenges does that throw up for you?
It's going to be maybe, might be hitting the channels. I know they've got long throws, so every time they get a throw, it'll be going into the box. They play for corners, they play for set pieces, so we've got to be aware of that, but I know they've got good footballers there as well, so they're going to be passing it as well. So.
Just a final question, you've spoken about the longevity that Steve Foster's shown in his legs. Do you feel that your legs can go as long as he can?
I hope so. I've obviously got 6 years left to get to 36, so yeah, I hope so.